is a Cowboys Monday on the home of the NFC East Champs, brought to you by the Big Green Egg. It's star up, star down. Our Cowboys report card, truckwreck.com text line is open at 877-881-1053. And the way that I know that our Cowboys insider Bobby Belt is in a fantastic, unique, and different mood, he did not close the studio door.
I know. It's great. I love it. I like the door open.
Nope.
I'm an open guy, door open guy.
What's happened is I've noticed that every day when I come in here at 6 and close it, Choppy goes, it's stuffy. It was hot in here last night. And so I got to leave it open for a segment, and at 6:15 the door will be closed.
We have people in here that work at night who obviously keep their house at 74 degrees.
And you generally forget to change the AC until like 5:45. So I know that it needs time to air out. You did not on Friday. Nope.
I didn't.
Nope. When Shan was out, you did not on Friday. I had to come in and turn it on.
I didn't look at it.
There we go.
Bobby, take us to D.C., covering it afterwards, locker room, flight back home before we get to star up, star down.
I mean, they were all in a good mood on the plane. Like before takeoff, you could hear them hooting and hollering around. Star down to the jet stream. That thing is a POS because it took 2 hours to go from Dallas to Baltimore. It was 3:30 Baltimore back to Dallas.
Oh, they didn't make up time in the air?
An hour and a half? A jet stream should not do an hour and a half to a 2 hour flight. It should not double the flight time, I feel like.
They didn't have a trap door open on the side.
Listen, Brad Sham, I don't know what you're talking about. It's never been 2 hours to DC.
We were 2 hours. We were 2 hours flat.
Normal. Normally it's like 3:30
on the way back.
Yeah.
So they had, I think they had some of their energy sapped by the time the plane landed at 1 o'clock in the morning, and so they were all ready for bed, I think, at the time. But before the plane took off, you could hear them hooting and hollering and in a great mood, and it was a lot of positivity. Jerry stood right up there. He was the first to do the interview in the locker room. He made sure that, in fact, it was funny. They were trying to pull Jake Ferguson over, and Cowboys PR was like, all right, people, Jake Ferguson. Oh, crap. Okay, never mind. Jerry's talking, and they had to pull Jake Ferguson away. So, no, everybody in a great mood and took care of business. You did what you had to do.
And look at this. We got NBC5 covering them, coming off the plane and landing and walking down the runway. Where's Bobby going to be on here?
I was on the back ladder. I wasn't coming down this front one, so you won't see me here.
Yeah, I didn't think I was. I was just joking.
I mean, I am essentially one of them. So
yeah, basically.
All right, let's get a star up, star down. We start with Dak and Lamb. 4 touchdown passes for Dak Prescott, 31 of 36, 279 yards. He ends the regular season leading the NFL in touchdown passes. He kept the made-up interception promise that the media created, lowering the total from last year. CeeDee Lamb, 13 catches for 98 yards. So only 7.5 a catch, but 13 for 98, 2 more touchdowns, 9 straight weeks scoring a TD for 88.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. I hate the amount of I hate that the volume of catches he's getting is bringing down his yards per attempt. Because that does make it look like he's a possession receiver, and he's not.
No.
He's not. But the way they're using him, sometimes it's like, all right, they are using him kind of as both a possession receiver and this high-flying threat. But you can't argue with the results. I mean, the results of this is just, if Dak needs somebody to get open, in the scramble drill, it's CeeDee Lamb. If Dak needs somebody to get open on a 3rd and 11, it's CeeDee Lamb. If he's not open, it's CeeDee Lamb. Like, that's just what it's come to.
Yeah. Broadus said this team is going to go as far as Dak, Lamb, and Ferguson take them. It's going to be about 88-4. Prescott improves to 32-8 as a starter against the NFC East. That win percentage is 80%. Went 5-1 against the division this year. Average score against the East this year, 38-13.
Yeah, 5-1 is what this team always does against the NFC East. It doesn't matter who the head coach is, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It seems like it's just like it's 5-1. At least with Dak. At least since like 2016, it's basically 5-1 every year. They're going to lose a game. Could be at Washington, could be at whatever. They're going to lose a game. But for the most part, this is a 5-1 team against the NFC East.
To break down some of Dak's game and plays, was that a Dwight Clark to Jalen Tolbert? Was that a throwaway? Or did he know that he was going to break back? He threw it back with the adjustment. It ended up looking gorgeous. and that was 7-0 Cowboys.
He looked like he knew he was throwing it to him. Like, I mean, when you watch the way that he was going through his progressions, going through his reads, it looked like he knew where he was going with it. But, I mean, a big play there, and that felt like right there on that. It's funny the swings it took, because when it was 10-7, 38-10 did not feel like what was coming. But after that first touchdown drive, you did feel like, okay, they're going to put up 40 today. They're going to run Washington off the field. They're just better than them. And so that first drive was completely easy for them.
Dak dancing around and then hitting CeeDee for 15 to open the third. That made it 28-10. But he was using the movement, directing Lamb, then throwing the laser in the end zone. And then my favorite throw was the touch one to Brandon Cooks. The touch throw to Brandon Cooks to make it 35-10. Dak Prescott putting up the big numbers again. And, of course, we talk about CeeDee as well. And Dak did not don the NFC East Championship gear afterwards. No hat, no shirt. What's up with that?
No, I wouldn't say I'm trying to send a message or won it before. Obviously, it's a huge accomplishment for myself, for this team, for this organization. Don't get me wrong by any means, but focus is ahead. Focus is ahead. Simple as that. Yeah, just simple as that. I don't know if I've honestly ever really put them on. And, yeah, something great for the family. But, yeah, I'm good. I want something better.
Well, you never put them on. Might be time to change things up.
We played for more important banners around here, okay? That's what we played for.
Yeah, the Lakers.
Colts probably hanging a banner. We almost got it.
Lions did. Lions hung a banner. They hung a banner for their NFC North title last week. Got mocked for that pretty heavily.
They did?
They did.
They got mocked?
They did.
You can't mock somebody for that.
Well,
you gotta hang a division banner.
You can when you're the Dallas Football Cowboys and you play for Super Bowls.
Well, the Cowboys, they don't even know where the catwalk is at this point to get up there to hang a banner.
Have you guys already made flight plans for Santa Clara? We're going to broadcast live there for the NFC title game.
You could not get me to that city.
No, it's okay. Santa Clara. It's not San Francisco. It's an hour away from all of that.
Star Fair. Up, star down, brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
Oh, man. You know what? Star up to answering the Washington field goal and the lead. Big star up for that. Like, they could have cowered. Oh, woe is me. Here we go again. They march right down the field in the next possession. 71 yards. Then they get the interception. Then they march down the field again. And now it's all of a sudden 21-10 at half. And then they get the ball out of the half. Bam. They score right away.
And the big answer to 10-7, Tony Pollard said, put this drive on my back.
I formation, Pollard behind Lipke, Prescott under center. Man in motion, handoff, Pollard coming right. Bang, zoom. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Oh, the Ralph Cramden reference. Didn't expect that one.
What a drive for Tony Pollard. The drive overall was 7 plays, 71 yards. They take the 14-10 lead. And Tony Pollard, just this past week with the media, was saying, I've expected to have a better season. Hopefully more is to come. And Bobby, in the first half, he finished 10 for 54, 5.4 a carry as they hope to get the run game going for the playoffs.
He ran tougher. He looked better yesterday. I think the run game in general looked more productive, and it looked like Pollard was finding more. You know, they talk about the expected yards per carry. Like, I think he was getting more out of his carries yesterday than he has been at different points during the season. And so that's a credit to him and something that you can get a little excited about, knowing, hey, he did this also with 2 backup guards in there. The offensive line was a little bit compromised, and yet he still stepped up and played pretty well overall. They've run the ball well against Washington the last couple times, so I mean it's more of a confidence builder probably than anything you can point to and say, here it is. This is something that they can do heading into the playoffs. The reality is that this team's going to need to beat you throwing the football, but if Tony Pollard can supplement some of that and make teams pay if they're softening looks, then that's going to be a big deal.
And a guy who has stepped up late here in this season, and he may have to, given whatever the injury news is to Stephon Gilmore. They need some help in the secondary. They've been getting it from the Wolverine.
Howell under center. He's going to give the ball to Robinson, plowing up the middle. Crosses the 30 as the 31.
Cowboys say they got the football.
The Cowboys do say they got the football. And I'm waiting for somebody in stripes or polka dots to say they've got the football. Everybody else is wearing solid.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Dallas. First down.
It's a fumble.
Wow. That's great.
Well done, Brad Shan. Jordan Lewis with the strip and recovery. He's starting to come on a little bit.
He has.
Starting to make plays. We were there for the Lions
Were
game.
there?
Were you there?
Were you there?
We were there for the Lions game when he started to turn it up, and he made another play yesterday.
He did, and it's great because they need to get more guys in the secondary to make plays, especially, now that Gilmore's got a little bit of an injury, in a slang after the game, you need other guys to step up. It's next man up. I mean, who knows what his shoulder's going to be like, but that's huge to get Jordan Lewis finally going.
What is the feeling on Gilmore right now? What was it like afterwards?
I mean, he seems optimistic. He seems like he thinks he's going to be good to go and that he's not going to miss any time and that he'll be ready to go.
I thought it was a wrist first when they were showing him walking out with his arm extended, just holding it. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's got a broken wrist, shoulder.
Yeah, when he had the, my first inclination was when he went down in was it the Detroit game? He went down and hurt his arm or did something like that. One of those games he got hurt on the final drive and had to come out of the game. And my first thought was he did that again. Okay, that must have been bugging him because it didn't look like anything too severe. Then you see him walking around in the sling. Well, he obviously is, says that he's going to be fine, that he'll be ready to go. He popped it, I guess, had the separation, went back in. I think that's officially called a subluxation, Dr. Chop. I think that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
I believe so. But he says that he'll be ready to play, but you absolutely are going to need all of your corners to be 100% healthy going into this playoff run because you've been compromised there all year. You've had to play a little bit shorthanded, but absolutely starved Jordan Lewis, not only just for yesterday, but just how he's closed the regular season going back to the Seattle game. I remember previewing the Seattle game, we talked about how he was going to be a big piece of that, and they might pick on him because they run 3 receivers deep. And ever since that game, he's really, really played well.
And another member of the secondary who's also coming on a little bit is one of your safeties.
Here's Howell back to throw, 3rd and long all day. Now hit as he throws over the middle. Intercepted at the 35-yard line. Donovan Wilson comes away with the Cowboys' second takeaway of the game.
That was the interception before the half. Cowboys were up 14-10, so gave you a little bit more breathing ability. Tank Lawerence hit Sam Howell's arm on that. That led to the CeeDee touchdown to make it 21-10. Donovan Wilson's pick, his second in as many games. First Cowboys safety to have an interception in consecutive games within the same season since
Roy Williams.
Darren Woodson.
No, the guy that we thought was going to replace the Earl Thomas hype.
Oh, Xavier Woods?
Xavier Woods in 2019. So Jordan Lewis and Donovan Wilson, 2 straight weeks here.
There you go.
That is a genuine assist, though, for DeMarcus Lawrence. And DeMarcus Lawrence in general,
man,
that all year, especially in the last month or so, it feels like every time they need a big play in a big moment, he's the guy that steps up. I mean, Mike has been great this year. Mike is their best player on defense. But when you want to talk about a big time moment, somebody stepping up and the moment not being too big for them, it consistently all year feels like it's been DeMarcus Lawrence.
And Micah getting sacked number 14 yesterday.
He did, but how many holds did he get? How many holding calls did he get?
He got zero.
He got
that
zero.
I saw. Yep.
Yeah, it's a problem, man. Start down to the officials. They completely still just act that this guy doesn't ever get held. There was one that was the blatant one in the first quarter that everybody posted on social media. Now look, it's not every elite defensive lineman gets held. It's just the way it is. They're going to call these guys differently, but it just seems like this guy gets held all the time.
And star up referee-wise of the Cowboys, their first penalty came with 5:55 left in the 3rd quarter. And as for the sacks, 4 sacks in this one. Dante Fowler was doing work. 4 sacks after only having 5 in their last 5 games.